Hello, everybody. This is Lambert. I'm going to walk you through a way to start up your climatographs that we are going to be constructing in science. So these instructions can be found in the Google slide that we've shared with you, and you can look over them and pause them anytime you want to. Let's get started. This is the goal that we are trying to make. What we are going to do is we are going to make a climatograph that uses precipitation, max temperatures, and min temperatures from Indianapolis. And we are going to put all of that data on one slide. Okay. The work that you're going to do is going to all be done in Excel. You can't use Google Sheets for this. We are going to put our precipitation bars in light blue. We're going to put our temperature scales on the left-hand side of the graph, and the maximum are going to be in red, and the minimum are going to be in dark blue. Precipitation is going to be on the right, and the bars that we're going to use are going to be on, or in light blue rather. You're going to do several of these, so what we want you to do is we want you to put all of them on one data sheet and put borders around each data sheet, and each of the graphs is going to go on its own pages. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll show you how to do this. Okay, what I have here is I have this data from Indianapolis, and I've shared this data with you so you can use it and put it into your own sheet. Topmost cell right here, A1, is where the city goes. Underneath that are your months, and if you look in the second row, I've got all of my months spelled out. And then I've got average maximum temperature, average minimum temperature underneath, and then average precipitation goes in that last row. And let's follow this convention so that when you run into problems with this, Mrs. Brown and Miss Polly and I can help you out as quickly as possible. Go ahead and select this data. You're just going to select select all of it. Don't select your city. You don't need that. You're going to use a line graph. Use a marked line. Okay, and that gives you everything that you need already spelled out. So let's go ahead and put our labels and our titles on everything that we need. So I'm going to go up here and go to chart layout. I've got my chart title, and we're going to put the title above the chart. This is in Indianapolis Climatogram. And just like we do in math class, please put an open parentheses in your last name and a closed parentheses in the title so that Mrs. Brown and I know whose work we're looking at. Use your axis titles. Let's go, the title below our axis is going to be the month. Same, go back to your axis titles. Your vertical title, which is on the y-axis, we'll do it as a rotated title. And these are going to be your degrees in Fahrenheit. Okay. If it were up to me, I would just delete this key. I don't think that it does much for you. Okay, everything is pretty standard. Click on any of these bars down here, which are actually your precipitation bars, and it would be a good exercise for you mentally to figure out why this bar is so much lower than the other ones and why it's not really appropriate to be still down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to go back up here to charts, and then I'm going to go over here to column. I'm going to go to clustered column. Okay. And now what it does is it's changed that from a line graph to a bar graph, which is what I want. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on that, hold down Control, click, and I want to format my axis. Is that what I want? No, that's not what I want. Uh-oh, Lambert screwed up. Control, click, go to maybe Format Data Series. There we go. Axis, and then click on this button that says Secondary Axis, and that'll move it over to the right-hand side, and that's what you want. Okay. So now look at what we have over here. Over on this right-hand side of the sheet, you've got 0 through 5, which is much more appropriate because that's what's counting the precipitation inches. And over here, we have degrees Fahrenheit, which are counting the temperature. All right. So let's go back up to chart layout. Go to axis titles. Secondary vertical axis title. We'll do that as a rotated title. And this is going to be precipitation in inches. And that makes sense. Now, it is convention to do these bars for precipitation in light blue, since what it's really doing is measuring water. So I'm going to select these bars, Control, click, format my data series, and I'm going to go to my fill. I don't want to choose automatic. I want to do a nice light blue. And so then I've got that. Okay, so that's working for that. So everything now is all set up as I need it to be. Okay, so in order to move this to its own sheet within the Excel document, I hit Control, click. I want to move the chart, and I want it to be a new sheet, and I'll title it Indiana Climate Graph. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, so here's what we can see. We can see the maximum temperatures per month are right here in this higher of the blue columns. The minimum temperatures right here are red, so these are actually reversed. So let's make sure that we reverse those as well. So let's go ahead and hold down Control. And the reason I want to do that is I want my maximum in red and my lowest in blue. So format my data series. Let's do our marker fill will be a solid, and let's make that a dark blue, and then let's make the line the same color, that dark blue as well. Hit OK. Marker line, where's my marker fill? That's what I want. Lambert is struggling right now to do this. Don't let this happen to you, kids. Do a better job than I am doing right now. Marker fill, solid. I want that dark. 0% transparency, okay. There we go. Now this one I want to be red since it's the maximum. Format my data series. I want my line to be red, and I want my marker fill to be red as well. Okay. All right. So now everything is as I want it to be. The minimum temperatures are dark blue. The maximum temperatures are red. I've got my title and my last name up at the top. My precipitation bar is on the right, and I'm counting those in inches and my degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So thanks for watching. Make sure that you watch this a few times. Kind of the ticket to get help from Mrs. Brown and from me is to have at least some notes or some idea on how to work with this.